now. See, I can't tell if it's sending data now. It's weird. All right, we're streaming on X. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Rumble. And now we're streaming on YouTube. All right, so now, Grant, let me go check all that stuff out. I might have to change the Twitch one because it's probably under the Veilguard, and it is. So, gaming podcasts, talk shows and podcasts.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, it is now. Talk shows and podcast.
Hey, I got a question.
What's that?
How was the Beverly Hills trick-or-treating last night?
It's good. It's good, bud. It's good, bud.
Did y'all drink like Cristal and hand out
Ferrero
Rocher?
I got attacked by a bunch of skeeters. Some skeeters got me.
Were the skeeters wearing tuxedos and bow ties?
Well, man, like I put bug spray on, and I still got bit. Those Florida skeeters.
I bet.
Or something else.
I bet everybody handed out Godiva chocolates and Grey Poupon.
No, but it was a good Halloween. Decent turnout. All right, we're good on Twitch, YouTube. Actually, let me go to YouTube. Make sure we're good.
I tried to show up to your trunk or treat, and they said, "Excuse me, sir, your credit score. We've checked it on the way here. You must leave this.
Your credit score is not good enough, sir.
You must leave this premise. You peasant."
Okay, let me put that thumbnail on it. Let me put that thumbnail on it, Grant. Live shows. Yep.
Did you take the tax, the dad tax for the candy?
No. My kids brought back quite a bit, but I didn't get any.
You get no Reese's peanut butter cups?
I don't like, man. Reese's peanut butter cups are overrated, dude.
I forgot you like Peeps and fucking Sprees.
Yeah, it's Twix and Snickers.
You like all that stupid stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Top 10.
You like Twizzlers and...
No, that's my son. My son loves some Twizzlers. We talking the Veilguard, talking some gaming news. Grant. Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. Okay. Entertainment. Let's save that. Let's see if we're live on Rumble, Grant. I'm going to go check that out real quick.
I wonder if that guy will retweet us.
I doubt it. They did that like for one time.
And then he's been ignoring us the whole time. You should change your name to Charlie Kirk. And then
we're live on Rumble, Grant.
If you change your name to Charlie Kirk or something, it'll go viral.
Yeah. All right. Should I tweet out the YouTube link so people can chat?
Sure.
Sure? You sure? Sure about that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. What's the link? There we go.
Oh, God. Where's the link?
I got it. Grant. Don't worry about it. I'm going to post it right now. And on chat. Live with episode 50, Grant.
I bet if we tweet it out, we're going live with Steve Bannon. We'd have 100,000 people.
What's that?
If we're going live with Steve Bannon.
On Rumble.
I'll just dress up as him.
We got Charlie Kirk as a guest.
I know.
We have thousands of people on Rumble.
That's how it sounds.
All right. So let's go to that. Tweet this Rumble link out. Huh?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh. All right. Let me tweet this Rumble link out.
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about how you hated those little circle things in the package, those little pouches.
Yeah. What about them?
They're called Smarties.
Smarties?
Yep. And they're fantastic.
No, I like Smarties.
Those are the ones that are in the little roll that are like Tums. They're called Smarties.
Are they?
Yeah. Don't you ever disrespect
on
Smarties.
Rumble, episode 50. 50, Grant.
This is episode 50.
It is episode 50.
50. We made it to the Made it to the middle.
NES Games and what else are we talking about? And Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I'm gonna tag these guys again.
Yeah.
So they can ignore us again.
You should change this one to say you should say this one has got Dan Bongino, Steve Bannon, and Charlie Kirk on it. They'll be like, what?
Yeah. All right, Grant. Excited for episode 50?
It's episode 50. We did it.
I got my orange juice.
We did it. Nobody cares about your stupid orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's for old people.
Some good stuff right there, boy.
It's for olds.
Huh?
It's for olds.
Got to get that vitamin C.
Elderly.
Got to get that vitamin C naturally. All right, but yeah, we got top 10 Nintendo games today. And
for the love of God, people, these are what we think are top 10. These aren't the definite top 10. Everybody can have their own top 10.
People should agree with these. I mean, it's quite easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta.
Because I looked through my list and I was like, I put down like 20, then I took out of that 20 off the top of my head and made a top 10. But all of them could really be in the top 10.
But here's the thing: is I got a couple honorable mentions just because there's so many games. So, let me ask you a question about Nintendo games. You would agree that there's a lot of great Nintendo games.
Yes,
but there's probably
are we talking about just
Nintendo, regular
in
Nintendo,
general, Nintendo,
NES.
Oh yeah, a lot of great Nintendo games. What are you talking about?
But you probably have to say so. There's 700 games, or 700 plus games.
Yeah,
you'd have to agree that there's probably 3 times as many shitty games made for the NES.
Oh, ridiculous amount. A lot of them came on the Nintendo 64, believe it or not.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about just for the NES, though. I'm talking about just for the NES.
Oh, for the NES, yes. Because everybody and their mother was trying to make a Nintendo game. Like
everybody was.
Yeah. Like we can talk about the infamous E.T.
That was for Atari.
Oh, yeah, that was for Atari. What was the other one?
Bobble Adventures?
Yeah. That one was garbage. What else? There was
Silver Surfer. Oh, dude, I can make a whole podcast.
There was that one.
Shitty,
what's that?
I can make a whole podcast of just shitty Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I can have a marathon.
But they also made of good Nintendo games. They made horrible sequels, and we can talk about some of the Double Dragons. But
Double Dragon 3 was probably the worst.
This episode, we're going to be talking about top 10 NES, like Nintendo 1, the original Nintendo.
Yeah, we're not going to be talking about any X-Men for the NES. That was terrible. Wolverine, which was garbage.
Yeah.
No Back to the Future, which was trash. Nightmare on Elm Street, which was vomit.
Yeah. All right, Grant. You ready to go live?
I'm ready.
Ready to go live, buddy?
Yep.
Sure?
Sure I am.
All right, going live now. Well, starting the intro, let me say. We're already live. I don't know what we're talking about here. All right, starting intro now.
Hey, start the intro.
I am starting the intro. You let me click the button? I'm clicking the button now.
God.
How about you mute your mic so you don't breathe hard?
Can't help it.
Okay, going now. I'm starting. I'm clicking.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Grant Rowland here with the DMG Gaming Podcast, and as always, I'm joined by the newest rook on the block, my boy Ed Phillips.
Yeah, they call me Rook. In Dragon Age, they call me the Rook. All right, Grant.
Do they call you that though?
Yeah, they do. And well, they call your camera fucking garbage. That's what it is.
It hasn't glitched
out.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
No, garbage camera.
Okay, if it cuts out, it's your fault because you jinxed it.
Yeah.
See, sometimes you got to understand.
Didn't you just buy a new camera and you're not even using a new camera?
I did.
You're using your old camera because you know it's going to cut out?
No, because the new one is, I don't know why it lags.
Well, it needs to cut out so we can stop staring at the forehead.
It's like I'm talking. Oh, no, that's not going to hurt. Actually, this one probably actually make it more shiny.
No, yeah, it is more shiny. That's what I'm talking about.
That's okay.
That's why we want it to cut out.
All I'm doing is storing energy. That's all it's doing. It's like
all right, Grant, for this podcast, instead of waiting until the end for our top 10, we're going to do a top 10 up front.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah, starting at the beginning. Then we'll go into our Dragon Age or my Dragon Age gameplay of what I've experienced so far.
I was right
still
there
in the beginning.
Right there.
You were right there.
I was right there.
All right.
So it's like I played it as well.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So let's get into that. All right, Grant, we're going to go the same as we usually do. Let me close some of this crap. All right, closing that.
You have an honorable mention? Before we start talking, do you have any honorable mentions that you could think off the top of your head? Just one. Just one. If you'd put one below, that would be number 11. What would it be? I'll let you start first. And we'll go honorable mention to honorable mention.
I would go probably Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus, okay.
I liked Kid Icarus as a kid.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't put it in my top 10. It was close. It's pretty close. But Kid Icarus was really good to me. What about you?
My honorable mention would have to be what I was called as a kid. They said I resembled it a lot.
What, Kirby?
Exactly. Kirby's Adventure.
That was an easy guess.
It was. Mainly because the way I ate in the lunchroom.
I bet. You ate all those cheese sticks up before anyone else got to them, huh?
Dude, I went to a poor school. We didn't have cheese sticks.
Do you have cheese sticks?
No. Look at you. The private school man over there. Hello. Like Will at Bel Air Academy. That's how I
went to, let's see, where did I go? I went to Heritage Academy in Columbus.
Rich.
And then I went to Starkville Academy for a little bit. Then I went over to the public school at Armstrong, and then Starkville High, and then back to Starkville Academy my senior year.
You're like, I got to leave these peasants alone. Let me get back over here to
No, I just went there. They wanted me to come play basketball for them, so I did.
They gave you a BMW and a BMW.
No, they didn't, Grant. They didn't give me any of that.
While Ed sat there on his throne looking down on us peasants from Starkville High.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was already at Starkville High.
I know,
what are you talking about?
You left. You're like, ugh, that's what I said.
No, I was not. Sorry. Okay, Grant, you're number 10.
My number 10. My number 10 is a favorite game of mine. And this is probably not a lot of people's top 10s, but this is in my top 10.
Oh, yeah?
It is Wizards and Warriors.
That's a good one.
It is a good game. Yeah. It's a great game.
Wizards and Warriors, that was good.
Now, this game...
I have one in my top 10 similar to that.
Yeah. So, it's not your top 10 yet, so stop talking.
Right,
anyway.
Well, continue.
Anyway, so this is one of the first games that I can remember playing as a child. Mm-hmm. I remember calling the video store nonstop to rent it. I called them like every 15 minutes, like, has it come back in yet? Has it come back in yet? Because I saw the cover and it looked cool. Anyway, so the game's not incredibly hard. It's really not hard. It's not a hard game. So this is a game that I've definitely beat hundreds of times because I finally got it for my birthday one year.
Yeah.
And I just remembered, like, I remember the first level. I can hear the music. I'll never forget the music to every stage. I can hear it. I can close my eyes and hear it now. But just playing the forest stage and then the cave stages and all that stuff, and then getting the chests and all that other stuff, and different things. But anyway, fighting the wizard at the end, which was not really hard. It's a great game. It's a very good childhood memory game of mine.
Is it a great game?
It's a great game.
Okay, thanks for
now. What is yours?
Mine.
I'm gonna do like you did to me, and I'm gonna talk over you.
Battletoads. Battletoads was my number 10.
It's a hard game.
I loved it, man. It's great. I mean, it kind of brought you back to Street Fighter, or not Street Fighter, but Double Dragon.
Yeah, okay.
It was kind of Double Dragon-y, but it was with Battletoads.
That's a cool game. Yeah, I remember playing that game. It's a good game, but it's also very hard. It's also a really hard game, especially for the Nintendo. It was really hard. I thought it was always cool because how their hands turn into weapons. I thought that was cool, and their feet turning, like he'd kick you, turn into the big shoe. Yeah.
All right. But so Battletoads is definitely for me. Earned a number 10 in my top 10. All right, Grant, go ahead, buddy. Number 9.
Number 9. And you probably can hear it in the intro of our song, of our podcast. Number 9.
Mega Man.
No. Before that.
Okay, go ahead.
Quiet peasant. Number
1 second. Hold on. Before we continue, let me settle my kids down.
Okay. He's settling his kids down. I didn't even hear his kids being bad. He's got some quiet kids.
Okay, yeah. So
You ready?
kids are good.
Okay.
Yeah, kids are good.
Number 9 is Contra.
That's a good one.
It's a really good game. It's a very hard game because a lot of people couldn't beat it without the 30-man code. You had to have the 30-man code. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you had 3 men and that was it. If you had the 30-man code, you can actually breeze through this game in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
15 to 20 minutes. You can actually beat the game.
Contra's great.
It's a great game.
Such a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grant.
Mm-hmm.
My number 9
is
Dragon Warrior.
Okay.
Before it became Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm.
All those original Dragon Warriors 1 through 3, which we are getting remakes for. But yeah, the original Dragon Warrior. Now, this was different from our Final Fantasy counterpart because there's a lot more clicking on stuff.
Yeah.
Like, in order to search the barrel, you had to not just click on a button, you had to click on the button, select search, and then it would actually search something. But yeah, Dragon Warrior was great. It's a great RPG. Will always be one of the top, OG RPGs of all time. And we are getting HD 2D remakes of them, so that's good.
Yeah, I didn't actually like Dragon Warrior until later in life. Like, not
when it turned to Dragon Quest.
No. I mean, it was still Dragon Warrior. It was just I was so young because I was used to playing like Final Fantasy, like the way it was. I didn't like the clicking and the searching. It was just
it was way different.
I didn't like the difference. That's the thing.
And the combat was way different. You didn't see your character most of the time.
Yeah. So when I was about 10 years old is when I appreciated it more.
Yeah. But so I'm curious how the HD 2D remakes will be. They look really good. But we'll see. Oh, you didn't turn that phone on silence, did you?
I didn't.
Live on a podcast. Actually, my phone's not even on silent either. So, okay. But yeah, Dragon Warrior definitely one of the OGs and easily made it in my top 10. All right, Grant, you're number 8, and whenever you're ready,
I'm ready. Number 8. Yeah, I'm ready. Number 8, Ninja Gaiden 2.
That's a good one.
Yes.
I was debating to put the Ninja Gaidens in my top 10. They were very close also.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden, the series is great. 2 is my favorite because that's the one I played the most.
Yeah.
Because I had it. I don't really know. It's one of those games. You ever had a game in your collection, you don't know how you got it? You just remember having it? It's one of those games. Like, I don't know if I borrowed it from somebody and never returned it or what. But I remember playing this game over and over and over. So I actually played this one before I played Ninja Gaiden 1. So, but just beating it over and over and over, it's just now Ninja Gaiden itself is a very hard game as well because you can get hit. This is like the game that you'd get hit and you'd bounce back like 45 feet and fall off the edge. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is it had like infinite continues. That's the only thing that made this game salvageable. Because if this game didn't have infinite continues, then it would be Game Genie Central for this game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. My number 8 is Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay.
Another hard game. Yeah, it was hard, but it was kind of cartoony. But I just liked the concept of it. It wasn't a Metroidvania. It wasn't even Metroid or anything like that. It was just a good side scroller, and I was just so many fond memories of it. You lose armor as you get hit, but then you can regain it. But it's a great game, easily in my top 10. Good side scroller. All right, Grant.
Number 7. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Good one. That was actually close in my top 10 also.
So I remember playing this game. One time, and I would beat Glass Joe. Every time I beat Glass Joe, I would start it over. And I'd just beat Glass Joe for like 20 times because that's as far as I could get when I was a kid. Because I played this game really small, and I just didn't understand that. I guess I just didn't have good dodging skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't until later to actually learn how to actually play the game. And Mike Tyson was always my favorite boxer, so it's a great game.
Yeah, great game. That was a good one. Classic. My number 7, Grant, is Contra.
Okay.
Yeah, Contra was a game. One of my earliest memories I can think of is Contra.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play that game all the time when I was a kid. That and Duck Hunt with my dads. I didn't put that on my top 10, but as a memory wise, it could have been, because my dad and my brother, my oldest brother or older brother, they would come in and with their hunting gear on and play Duck Hunt.
You better be careful. Your
And
dad
they grab the Nintendo gun and start shooting.
Get serious and pull out his real gun. And
Yeah,
shoot the TV.
But anyway, Contra, yeah, it was one of my earliest memories on the Nintendo. So it's definitely easily on my top 10.
I could see your dad getting mad at the dog for laughing at him. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good game.
Yep.
I always thought the cover of Contra hat was Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did too. Like, it just reminded me of them.
I think that's who it was supposed to be.
But I mean, that's when it came out. It came out during that period, you know?
I think, those people have names. Like, they have real name. Like, they have names. I don't know what they are. I can't remember what they are.
Yeah.
But I think that's who it was supposed to be. But they had to, like, make it look different. Otherwise,
they were playing off the 80s actions.
Yeah, they got sued to oblivion.
Yeah, they were playing off that.
All right, here we go. Number 6. Final Fantasy.
Of course.
Yes. This is the first RPG I ever played. I really didn't understand RPG games when this came out. I remember, so like I played it, shelved it, and then came back to it. When I was a little bit older, because at that age you're still into like Mario and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't quite understand RPG elements. That, but I remember when I came back to it though, it was a great game. It was hard because I just didn't understand leveling up and grinding levels.
It's a new thing.
Like, yeah. I didn't know to do that. I just thought like progressing the game, and here you are in like the third dungeon or whatever, and you're only like level 15 because that's because I guess I always thought like I just want to hurry up. I don't want to fight nothing, so I want to run. So I would run and wouldn't get experience points.
Well, Japan wanted to bring something that was like Dungeons and Dragons, to the console.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted their own spin off of it.
Yeah.
So they created Final Fantasy is their version,
Yep.
And my number 6 also is Final Fantasy.
Oh, see, this is why we're brothers, man.
Yeah. Final Fantasy is one of the first RPG. It is the first RPG I ever played because I played Dragon Warrior after.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Final Fantasy is the first RPG I've ever played.
Mm.
And that's why it got, what did it get? S tier on our tier list for Final Fantasies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's OG, created the entire series. Think about what we have now Final Fantasy wise. There's so much Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. But yeah, it's great. Had a class system. You could pick like 4 warriors. You know what I mean? You could pick 4 mages or white mages or whatever they were,
Well, if you beat this game, you beat that game with 4 white mages, then you're an elite gamer.
But you could beat it easily with 4 warriors.
Yeah,
it just take you a lot of time on the ones that, the enemies that were weak to only magic.
Yeah.
But you could easily do it.
Yeah. There is people out there who do a 4 white mage run.
Yeah. Yeah, there's challenge runs. But thieves were good too. Turn into ninjas. They were crazy. Monk 1, martial artists or whatever they were. Those are good too. All right, that was our number 6, Grant. Oh, before we continue, this was this top 10 list was requested by someone on one of our YouTube videos.
Yep.
So if you guys have a top 10 list, and if we haven't done it already, we'll do it. Just reply to any of our videos or this podcast or anything.
It could be top 10 anything. Top 10.
Yeah, it doesn't have to involve gaming.
Don't care. Yeah, I'll top 10 anything.
If you guys want a top 10 list and you listen to our podcast, just reply to one of our videos, this video, whatever.
We can do it.
All right, Grant, number 5, go.
Top 10 Victoria's Secret models. Have to dig in the bag on that one. Have to go back to when I was 14 on that one.
Yeah, I would have to get some graphics for that. Put some graphics up.
I don't know if you'll be able to put them up. We might get kicked off again.
Yeah. All
right. Here we go. Number 5. I'm going to take you back to a time. Now, my brother, when he got this, I remember him working all summer for this.
Yeah.
He got the Nintendo, and with that Nintendo came the game that started it all, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I also remember chewing on his cord and getting beat up in the same night. So I remember that. But I remember Super Mario Brothers was the coolest game. That's my number 5, by the way, Super Mario Brothers. And no, I remember seeing it for the first time. I really didn't understand. I really didn't, because I mean, you have to think I'm like 4. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know. I'm still drooling all over myself, and I'm probably still crapping my pants. I don't know. I can't remember if I was or not. Probably was. But I remember my brother playing it, and all his friends came over. And I'm talking about, it was like a whole room full of friends, and here I am just trying to like watch the game, and I remember when he finally let me play it. Of course, I couldn't get past level 1 because I kept getting hit and stuff like that. But I remember that game, and then as I got older, I remember that game just being awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That was actually close to my top 10, but I got another one for my number 5.
Okay.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay.
That game dude, I played the hell out of. I remember before we had strategy guides online and all that stuff, I found a way that you could duck under one of those blocks. Like you press the down button and you go behind the scenes and you'd be able to skip all these levels. I figured that out like just messing around because I played it so much as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mario Brothers 3, dude. I love that game.
Yep.
Grant.
Number 4, Metroid.
Oh, look at you.
I remember playing this game. Now, I remember playing this game at my cousin's house. And I never had this game as a kid. I always borrowed it from him because they had it. But I remember going over there and seeing it for the first time, and I didn't quite understand what it was when I first saw it. I just remember it was like, because, you know, when you look at the pixels back then, you can't really make out what it was. So I didn't know Samus that's what that was. I didn't know it was a person. I just thought it was like a plant looking thing shooting. And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But I remember them, you know, getting the morph ball and all that stuff, and then rolling around and dropping bombs. And but I really didn't understand like the whole Metroidvania style. You know what I mean? Like the whole Metroid style of like finding secret passages and stuff like that.
Some place will be blocked and you have to go get some special piece of gear.
Yeah.
So you continue. Yeah.
But when I actually started playing it, man, like this game, I was hooked. Like I remember being like faking sick. You know, like I would make myself go throw up. I'm like, oh, I'm sick. I got to stay home. Whatever.
Yeah. So this was number 4, right?
Uh-huh.
Mine is also Metroid.
Okay.
Metroid, like, I don't know. Just the concept of it was great. Sci-fi, you know, the first real big sci-fi game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And fighting Mother Brain and all that stuff was really cool. And we can talk about what came of it. And you had Super Metroid and all that stuff. But, I mean, it's really the OG.
Yep.
Really, there's no way I was not going to put it in my top 10. Great game. All right, Grant. Number 3, buddy.
Number 3, Mega Man 2. Yours too?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about it.
Mega Man 2, man.
So, Mega Man 2. I actually played this one before Mega Man 1.
Yeah.
So, because I remember I actually borrowed this from somebody. Because I didn't know. They're like, oh, there's a game out where if you kill people, you get their powers. I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. Or whatever, you know. Because back then, you didn't just keep up with games when they came out and all this release dates and all this other stuff, you know. I never knew that there was one out before the other one and all this other stuff. So I remember playing this game, and I'll never forget, not only did it have the coolest monsters, it had the best music of any Nintendo game. It's probably a top 5 composition of any Nintendo game today. You know what I mean? That has Dr. Wily. It's in our theme song. It's probably one of the best stage music in history.
Yeah, and this Mega Man 2 is what saved the series too.
Yeah.
Because I played Mega Man 1 before too.
Yeah.
And I just remember the old covers of like Mega Man 1. The old cover looks like a roller derby cover or something like that. You know, it's like a weird cover. And the guy who made the cover did it in like, you know, a couple days or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what they went with for the Western release. But anyway, yeah. So Mega Man 2, man, classic, great game, easily top 10.
Yep.
Easily top 10. All right. Is your camera good, dude? He's good. All right.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuttering there for a little bit.
All right. Number 2, The Legend of Zelda.
All right. That's a good one.
So I remember my brother getting this game, and it was the first game I saw that was gold. I was like, oh man, this has to be a special game. I also remember my brother getting really far in this game and trying to hide it from me because I would play it, and the dummy put it on top of the refrigerator, and the magnets in the refrigerator erased his game. But no, I remember this game, and I remember having the Nintendo Power map for this game, and I would try to follow the map to a T, and I would burn it. And this was back when like you had to like look at all the little icons, so to have like a little fire symbol on the bush,
yeah,
you know, and it's like real small, so you have to. So I remember my dad having to help me with this game and stuff like that. But man, finding level 9 in the boulders and then that music, Ganon's music,
yeah,
classic, man, great. The game that started it all.
So Legend of Zelda is my number 2 also.
Look at this, man. Look at me. Ed.
But
look at me right here. Me and you, we're right here.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't look at me like that.
No, Legend of Zelda was the first game I ever beat, and the first game I ever played on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. I was like 4 or 5,
mm-hmm.
and I played it with my mom.
Okay.
And me and my mom would stay up almost all night playing this damn game.
I bet your mom was cussing up a storm.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny.
What the fuck is this thing here?
She would try to figure stuff out, but I would figure stuff out for her as a little kid.
Yeah.
And that's Legend of Zelda is my introduction into video games.
That's cool.
That is the game. That's why I was very hard-pressed to put 1 or 2, you know. But 2 is... Legend of Zelda is my introduction into video games. And it's the first game I beat as a kid. And playing with my mom and stuff, great memories.
That's cool.
So that easily, I mean, I still was debating number 1 and 2, but it got up there. Anyway, Grant.
Here we go.
Number 1.
You've already mentioned it.
Uno. See, that's Spanish?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's all,
that's good. You should go to Mexico and just say Uno.
I know I should.
Now you speak fluent Spanish because you know Uno. 1989 was the year. There was a movie called The Wizard.
Okay.
And in that movie, they announced a game, and the guy said it just like this: Super Mario Brothers 3. I don't know why he said Mario like that. I don't understand why he said that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember that movie. Because at the time, you know, because one, it was like this is the first like video game. And you're like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever, you know. But then, like, as you're older, you go back and watch that movie, and you're like the girl is like screaming, like, find the warp zone, Jimmy. Well, how do you know? The game just fucking came out. How do you know? You know what I'm saying? So you start finding all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, when this game came out, this game was above and beyond anything that I've ever played at that time. I remember the commercial, and I remember I'd get hyped for the commercial like that. And I remember specifically getting this game for my birthday. This is all I wanted. I didn't care. You know, as you're a kid, you know, you make stupid promises. You're like, please, if you give me this game, I'll never ask for nothing for Christmas. I don't want nothing but this game. You know what I mean? So you make stupid promises like that. But that's how bad I wanted this game. And I remember I got this game. And, dude, I played this game until my fingers hurt. Like, I was good at this game.
Yeah.
Man, I love this game, dude. This is my favorite.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yes.
Great game.
My number 1 Nintendo game of all time.
That's good, Grant. That's pretty good. My number 1 is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
It's a good one.
Let me explain why.
Not Simon's Quest?
Not Simon's Quest. I played the original Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with it. Dracula 2 came out, or Castlevania 2 came out, also fell in love with it. But I was a huge fan of these games that I would dress up as Dracula every year for Halloween.
Oh,
like every year when I was a kid, I had to be Dracula.
Oh, damn.
Because they didn't sell Belmont costumes, right? but I was in love with this. I love this IP. So they didn't sell Belmont costumes, and my mom wasn't going to make them. So she would just buy the Dracula costume that you can buy anywhere at Walmart or something like that.
Store. I bet you look like Wackula.
But I would go as Dracula not because I liked Dracula, I just liked Castlevania, and I always thought Dracula was a cool character. Also,
don't lie, you used to play Castlevania out in the woods, didn't you?
I did. I played Final Fantasy out in the woods too. I had my I had a bamboo stick. I'd pretend I was like a knight or whatever. And then I had my golden retriever that would come with me in the woods.
That's right.
And he was my steed.
That's right. You better be careful out there, though. You
Max. That was his name.
Well, that was Tex. What happened to Tex?
No, not Tex. That was my brother's dog.
Oh,
we had Max, our other golden retriever.
You gotta be careful out there, though. You gonna run up on some real Final Fantasy monsters out there.
No, you would. You would.
Bugbear.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Nah, dude.
Dude, I used to. There's a creek down near our house, like from our boat landing to the bottom of the hill. That was about over, I'd say, almost a mile stretch for creek wise, from the bottom of the hill all the way to that boat landing. When I was a kid, I swam that thing back and forth a lot in alligator, water moccasin infested waters.
I remember when I met
you. I never got bit or anything, thankfully.
I remember when I met you, and this is before you moved to Starkville. You were like, "Hey, you want to come to my house?" I was like, I was terrified to go out there.
Yeah. Well, man, we grew up poor. But like, yeah, anyway, back to Castlevania 3. That is one of my greatest memories besides Zelda with my mom, but still one of my greatest memories was how I had to have Castlevania 3 as a kid after playing the first two and all my love for the IP.
Yeah, no, that's a great game.
So that was like, this is why I had to put it at number one, because all the memories flooding back in of how much I love this game. So definitely my number one.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Grant, that's the top 10 list.
It's a wrap. For
NES games. That is our top 10. Again, if you guys want to give us some top 10 lists, just reply to our videos. We'll see the reply on X, YouTube, whatever. And we'll do, whoever responds we'll do a top 10 list. This guy sent a message to us a couple of days ago, and we immediately got a top 10 list together.
Anyway, Ed's lying to y'all. I saw Ed's list. On his list was Double Dragon 3, The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
Now you're just lying.
Silver Surfer.
Now you're lying. All right, Grant.
Hide Glide was on there too.
Ugh. Let's get some news. Want to go some news, Grant? And before your camera turns off?
No, I kicked it.
You kicked it? It's about to. Yep, it's going. It's going.
Okay, all right, we're good. No,
nope. Stop kicking it, dude.
I'm not. This is like the ripple effect.
All right.
Nope. All right, we're good.
Oh, you sure?
We're good. I just can't move. I can't move my mouth. I gotta talk like this.
Okay. Let's pull this up. Grant.
Oof.
Monster Hunter Wilds is going crazy right now. This is the beta. Yep. They almost broke 500K. Actually, I mean, I don't think they have yet. But regardless, this is the beta. People are going crazy for it. Now they are reporting graphical issues and all that stuff, but I mean, people are enjoying the hell out of the game right now, and it's just in beta.
Okay, and don't take this the wrong way. We're not dunking on Dragon Age by showing this, but what I will say is there was a lot of people out there who were trying to dunk on people like us, saying, "Oh, you see, go woke, go platinum," or whatever they're saying. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that stuff. You can't do all that. You can't just.
We'll get to Dragon Age because we are playing it.
I know that, but I'm just saying to the people, you can't do that because now you look stupid. You look, and then of course it's like, oh, well, it's free to play. Well, that might be that. You could be right, but it's also almost 4 times as many people playing that game than the other.
Now we can talk about the type of RPG Dragon Age is and why it would be at that number. for historical last Dragon Ages and everything like that. But let's get to this. This is a release of a major game that was highly promoted by every single gaming outlet there is, publication, whatever. The other game is a beta by another highly promoted game. You can say that. Monster Hunter Wilds, very highly promoted. But it's not the release. It's not the full game. And the difference it is. They are two different games. I will say that. But to me, Dragon Age the Veilguard right now is not performing to what I thought it was going to perform at. And our initial sayings were like, yes, it is going to be a solid RPG. It is a Dragon Age. It's going to be a solid RPG. But was it going to go above a solid RPG? Was it going to be better? And we'll get to my gameplay, and I'll go into some things about my gameplay. Will go into why I still think this is just
I was there.
Okay, RPG, solid RPG. It's not a 10 of 10.
No, it's not.
It is not a 10 out of 10. And I want to tell you why. With 30 plus years of RPG experience, this is not a 10 of 10 RPG. I'm going to tell you why here in a second. Anyway.
We're going to tell you why.
I will tell you why. All right, so let me remove this. Now let me bring up a video. See if I can get this up.
We'll tell you why.
I will tell you why. All right, let me go to downloads and my stream. Let me mute that and get it in. All right. Here we go. Okay. Let me share it. Share screen. All right, you see that, Grant? Let me make it full screen and play it.
What's that terrible thing in the left corner of it?
That is a sexy guy right there.
I have no idea what that is, but
I'm just going to let this play as we talk about it. All right, so I purchased a Dragon Age, played it as soon as it released, about an hour after it released, and immediately started live streaming it. I haven't even touched the game like by myself. If I'm live streaming it, that means that's my only play time is me live streaming it. So we have 3 live streams up right now. That is I'm pretty much playing from the beginning to end, and hopefully I can stream everything. I might get rid of some of the side quests on my own and then get back into the main story, maybe stream that instead of some of the, side content. All right. So me personally, the maps I'm not doing a review yet. Still got to beat the game. I'm going to just kind of let you know what I think so far. The character creator is fucking stupid. It's not a good character creator. It's a character creator to appease certain people, but not overall, not to, encapsulate an entire community. It's used to appease certain type of people. Of course, your pronoun, all those people, it appeases them, but it's not all encompassing good character creator. The beards look stupid. A lot of the face, you can change your face to whatever you want. It's not an outstanding character creator. It's not a good character creator. It's below average. Okay.
Like every beard that you went through looked like 45 BC Greece.
It was really terrible. Like a lot of aspects of the character creator. It's not as good as a lot of people say.
Or did you want the Socrates? Like that's basically what the.
Then we can get into the top surgery scars, all of our deisms, our New World bullshit that they want to put into it. Fine, go ahead. But they don't understand. There's going to be that review when it comes of what I'm going to say of why this is just why they're kicking themselves in the fucking nuts. Now, after the character creation, go into the story. Fantastic fantasy world, Grant. Okay. At the beginning. Okay? The fantasy is high fantasy at the beginning, after the character creation. You don't get any ejected New World political, gender, ideological bullshit at the beginning. So far. For my 7-8 hours of gameplay so far in the beginning, it's great storytelling and good fantasy.
Okay.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dreading when I have to get to those certain points.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when it comes to compared to like Dragon Age Inquisition, the linear maps I don't like them. The linear storytelling, linear progression in the maps is just they have fantastic settings, Grant. Like cool looking cities and
it's a beautiful, it's
it's a great looking game.
Yeah.
But with the linear progression in the maps, it feels so small at the same time.
Yeah. Because I kept asking you.
Feel epic. Like
because I kept asking you. I was like, can you go over here? And you're like, no. I was like, well, can you go over here? And you're like, no. So
like you go into the city, like in some of the dock city, and you can see all these cool buildings and great setting, but you're only limited to a certain part of the city.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you can probably go there maybe later on as you progress the request, because I did find out one of the forests, the beginning area, I felt limited, but then a lot of the side quests for the characters and stuff, companions, brought me more into those areas.
Mm-hmm.
But it still felt linear because I was trapped to where I could go.
Yeah.
It wasn't like those bigger maps in Inquisition, right? They could just go wherever you wanted to and fight things and do side quests. It's a big map. Right now, I feel very like compressed.
Yeah.
Like it's not that. And right now, they're telling a good fantasy. Right now, like the story is good. Is good fantasy. I haven't gotten to some portions that you see online yet. And I don't want to get to those portions. Like I really just want to quit playing the game because I don't want to get to that and ruin the fantasy. You know what I mean? Get ruined. Let it get. It's like they built this good fantasy and then just said, you know what? Fuck our game. Let's just add our new age political gender crap into it.
Yeah.
And kick ourselves in the nuts.
Yeah.
Like why do that? You created a fantasy universe. Keep it fantasy. Keep it away from us, away from our stupid ideals and stuff like that in Western politics and Western culture. And so far, it's telling a good fantasy, but it's still very linear. And I just don't like that part. Now, the RPG aspects when selecting the class and stuff, I love playing a warrior, dude, in this game. It's fun.
Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of the techniques and stuff look pretty good.
And where you can build your warrior, like the class you pick, you can go to be a champion, which is more just straight out tanking and AoE slams in the ground. My play style.
Yeah.
I love just wrecking things as a tank. Or you can go into Reaper, which is necrotic damage, more like a Death Knight type thing as a warrior. Or you can go into like Slayer, which is just more melee weapon stuff, So that aspect is good RPG mechanics in it. When it comes to building your character, what you want, it's decent. It's solid. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not anything new, but it is solid. Picking your skills is I don't like that it's subject you to only like 1 or 4 skills. You have an ultimate and 3 skills. You know what I mean? Like you can get more skills, but you only have these skills on your bar at a time when you're fighting.
Yeah.
It should be more, in my opinion. And one aspect I do like is the combo system. Like if one of your characters, your companions apply weakens or sunder or some type of static debuff on an enemy, you can use a skill that detonates that.
Yeah.
So let's say I have Nev put weakened on an enemy. I can use a skill that's specifically to detonate the weakened status effect and create a combo that increases the stagger damage done and does a whole nother effect.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's just not. It's still. I still feel it's limited. Like they really missed a chance here with the maps and a few other things and the storytelling eventually, which hopefully maybe I can skip all that. I don't know. Is stuff that I don't want in a fantasy world that I'm playing a character that I want to be and a story how I want the story to go. Can I skip all that?
Yeah.
If they push it in my face, they're going to get my review is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm pushing this game at my first 8 hours of playthrough without experiencing anything else with just the fantasy and the fighting. I'm looking at like around an 8 right now.
Okay.
8 or even a 9 with some of the
Yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah.
But I haven't reached a lot of portions.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me like you're making this type of fantasy, and then you want to enter into all this new age bullshit that you want to add into your game and kicking yourself in the nuts. Dude, this needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Like, you've set up this fantasy world and then you want to add our shit into it. It needs to be studied. Like, they are killing themselves because they had to add this shit to the game.
But you know what that makes you if you say that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to go on social media and just blast the game, okay? I've enjoyed it currently. With my current playthrough, besides the character creator, I have enjoyed it. Now, how long am I going to enjoy it? Is the real, question. I don't know. So this is, you see in the screen, that's the skill stuff. Like, I'm building to what I want to build to. I'm going up to grab some skill, then I'm going over to the left to the champion class.
Yeah, I don't know if I like stuff like that. That's just me because it reminds me of, and no, I'm not saying it because it's this game. I didn't like when Final Fantasy X did it either. Like that how it was like that.
I like it in action RPGs.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good for like
This is an action RPG. Really, I mean, it's like God of War. Honestly,
which one is I like it for like the Diablo style games.
Now, I don't want to put it in the same category. God of War is a masterpiece, just about. But this, for action RPG, building how I want it to be, like skills wise and like what I want to build to, I don't mind this. I like this. Turn based, no, of course not. But like this kind of RPG, yes, I don't mind this skill tree stuff because it's very, you can do what you want. Kind of, you can do what you want, and you can say, let's say, if I don't want to be a champion, I can go over to Reaper and build like a Death Knight sort of thing.
What about the camera?
All right, the camera I had issues with the beginning. Eventually I was able to fix a portion of it because I needed, it wasn't in the camera settings, it was in the cursor settings. I had to make the cursor faster. So my controller, I was able to spin the camera faster. So I was able to fix that, but now I'm still in close quarters and like the camera's just going all over the damn place. Like it's very frustrating sometimes
like
during the fight.
64.
Yeah, like during some fights, like you get in a small area and your camera just goes haywire. I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
So that gets frustrating. But overall, if you can keep it in an open kind of area, the combat's fun. But I mean, I'm still going to go to the fact that why? Because I know I'm going to get to that shit, all that loaded crap from our world.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get to it, but I'm asking myself, man, why did you guys have to do it? Like you had it.
Yeah.
Right? You almost had it.
Yep.
But now you want to ruin the fantasy.
Yep.
You want to tell people this is what I think.
Yeah.
And that's what perception I'm getting. Like they're throwing it in your face. And it's stupid. Baldur's Gate 3 never threw it in your face.
No.
You know what I mean?
You can choose whatever.
You created your world.
Correct.
In Baldur's Gate 3.
If you wanted that, you chose it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very hesitant because I enjoy it like again, solid RPG. Not great, not masterpiece. Okay. So far. So that is my initial assessment very early into the game.
Yeah.
Very early.
It's a fair, I mean, that's fair.
But I liked how I am happy I was able to create the character that I wanted, with the warrior personality and voice, everything. I was happy with that.
Well, it only had one voice that was like.
Well, it had different ones. They had masculine voices, 2 of them, but then you could set the tone of either low or high with either of those 2 masculine voices. They all sounded horrible, so I went with the one with the deepest tone.
Yeah, one sounded like Ed, one sounded like me. So
Yeah, one sounded like a little bitch, and one sounded like
Ed.
me.
One sounded like me, and then one sounded like a little bitch, like Ed.
No, no, you didn't hear what I said.
No,
one sounded like a little bitch, and one sounded like me.
Nope, can't flip it on me.
Yeah, because you do sound like a little bitch. But okay.
Hey.
So most of my I break all the boxes. I probably frustrated people watching my stream because I break every box I see. I have to break it.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
That's all. This all
fake voice. What are you talking about?
This is how I really talk.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Okay. But yeah, that's my synopsis so far, and we'll get to the real review probably in the next several days.
Yeah.
Maybe the next podcast. I don't know what today's Friday. Maybe Thursday, or maybe next Friday.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel, because you see how long this has taken you, you know what I mean? Do you, to get to a certain point, I mean, it took you 8 hours just to get to where you are now. Do you feel like a lot of these professional reviewers played the game, the whole game, before they?
If you gave it a 10 out of 10, it's not a 10 out of 10 game. I can tell you that with just 8 hours of playing, it's not 10 out of 10.
I guess my point is,
you could subject cases break down a score and say story 10 out of 10 maybe, or whatever you like 10 out of 10, you know. Yeah. But the whole aspect of a game, this is not a 10 out of 10 game.
I guess what I'm asking is what do you think the percentage of people the professional, quote unquote, professional reviewers actually completed this game?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you, majority of the 10 out of 10 scores, the very high scores, even some of the 95 out of 100, whatever, we already covered that in our last podcast. Mm-hmm. You cannot trust a lot of those scores because a lot of them are playing to the he, him, trans flag, all that shit on their fucking profiles. Yeah. And this is an LGBTQ game, which is labeled on stream as.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh, well, you don't trust them because they're gay or whatever. No, I don't trust them because they're part of a fucking cult.
Yeah, they're biased.
Okay. Already. And they are already bought and sold into this game because it has to succeed to them for their gender politics.
Yeah.
It has to succeed. So that's why I don't trust it.
Correct.
And I would be the same way if you made a game about the, Second Amendment Constitution and stuff like that. And only people gave it a 10 out of 10 was like Charlie Kirk and a bunch of other people. Of course, I would also be like, hold on now.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with this. So, yeah, it is my personal opinion as an RPG guy for 30 plus years. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. I can't even put it at 9 right now, honestly. Early, ongoing, I'm looking at an 8 right now. 8.5 as my gameplay right now. Like where I'm at in the story and everything I've experienced, 8.5.
And it could drop.
Because there's flaws. There's a lot of flaws. You cannot give a game with flaws, camera issues, a little bit bland storytelling a 10 out of 10, dude.
Now you're just nitpicking.
You cannot do that.
You're just nitpicking now, Ed.
I'm nitpicking as an RPG enthusiast that has played RPG for 30 plus years. Okay. I know what an RPG what it takes to make a good RPG.
What? Bigotry? Misogyny?
There is actually a little bit of misogyny in this game. It was actually kind of funny.
They took out the misogyny in Final Fantasy VI. Remember I told you that?
Well, like Nev, you can choose to take a companion with you, and they end up getting hurt, and their face is like bruised for a while because you chose to take them on this mission. Well, Nev's face is like all battered.
She is beat up,
and it's like
because I said something. I said, "Why is her face so thick?"
Yeah, because I chose to take her on this mission and she got injured.
No.
And my character had the choice of be like, suck it up. And that's kind of like what I chose.
You're such a bigot and a misogynist. Ugh, you make me sick.
Hats off to him for that portion of the game, okay? Because they gave you the decision. But there's a lot of stuff in there that's kind of like, and that I haven't got to. We'll talk about that probably later.
How am I doing this podcast with you? Oh my God. Yuck.
But yeah, that's my take on it. I still can't I'm not giving a review until I complete it. So hopefully by next Friday, we have a review up.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, out of all the crap that you guys read online, and from both sides, but out of all the publications that gave it a score, the best score you're going to possibly get for a game like this is from a grassroots podcast like ours.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I will give it a fair score, but I'm giving it a score based off the entire game that I've experienced. So if you want to see a real review score of what this game deserves, you need to check our podcast out probably by next Friday.
Yep. And we will give it a fair score.
I will give it a fair score because I'm playing it.
And I'm
Grant
there.
is sitting over there playing with his dong probably.
If you didn't say that, I was going to make that joke for you.
Yeah. All right, Grant. Let me close this. Okay. I think that is it. Do we want to talk about anything else, Grant?
No. I'm sure your butler has to come pick you up and
I don't have a butler.
Take you to the shower.
I'm not that rich, Grant. I don't know where this perception is that you're talking to me like I'm rich or something
Jeeves
like that.
is coming to pick you up.
I am comfortable, put it that way.
You know, that's comfortable as Floridian for wealthy. That's what they say.
Comfortable is comfortable.
That's
what it is. It's comfortable.
That's what they do when they're just being modest.
Yeah. Anyway.
How you living, man? I'm comfortable.
Okay. Well, Grant, let me close this real quick. Okay. Grant, go and close us out, dude. What are you waiting on? Why are you staring at me like that?
Because I was waiting for you to finish talking.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Go follow the podcast.
Share the podcast with people.
Yeah.
Please. Share it with people.
Share it with the church.
We got great followers. We're trying to keep, get a really good group of core followers. Yeah. And we have that. But we're trying to grab more people into this community to think how we do in gaming. I know a lot of people do. Young, old, whatever. Yep. But catch us Tuesdays and Fridays around this time, depending.
And eventually we'll get to, I promise you, next year we'll have like a set time every podcast. So this could be like a syndication. We'll have a set time.
We still got 5 more months till we hit our year mark.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
5.5 months.
Yep.
Actually, when we'll hit our year mark. But this is episode 50. So we want to show the love for everyone that has supported us.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends. To us since then.
Share it with your mammy.
Thank you guys.
Share it with your pappy.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Go follow us on YouTube. Go follow us on X. Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble. And, yeah, guys, we will see y'all next week. Peace.